Good afternoon, everyone. It's Daniel at Docksteader Subaru, and today it's a video about the 2025 Subaru Forester. So the 2025 is a brand new model to us, and it's a full redesign of the exterior and the interior. And the way that I wanted to do it is to actually show this current model that we have, since the 2025 still hasn't arrived in stores. We only have the specifications, and there was a press conference about it, so there's some photos and videos online. And if you are interested, feel free to check out some of those videos first, just to get an idea of the looks of it, the design of it. And in this video specifically, I wanted to go over the specifications and what we know so far, what things are new, and what applies to each trim level. And as always, I'm talking about the Canadian models. And so let's begin. So this, for example, is a 2024 Forester Sport in magnetite gray metallic. In the new generation, there is one new color, which is going to be which is called River Rock Pearl. So it's sort of a greenish color, not like this, but it would be more of a soft pastel, sort of a greenish color. More like the new Crosstrek Wilderness, more like that alpine green, but a bit more muted, a bit more cement sort of a color. Very popular color selection in recent years. That palette is sort of new, and that's going to be nice and exciting. And that River Rock Pearl will be available from the touring trim level and up. So in Canada, the touring trim level is the middle trim. I think in the US they're called premium. And so if you're looking for that exciting new green color, that will be available on the Canadian touring and above. So mid-trim level and above, just not on the base model. Now, all cars, however, do get this new redesign, exterior and interior, the one that that you may have seen in the videos. And there will also be a new EyeSight system. EyeSight is refers to these two dual camera system, and on the new 2025s, it will be a 3-camera system. So we'll have those 2 cameras, and then another one right in the middle, which is a wider angle mono camera. Those improvements, normally what they do is they allow the car to use the autonomous features like cruise controls, the adaptive cruise controls, and the self-steering, the steering assist, and make them a bit more human-like, a bit smoother with operation. So generation by generation, these systems just make all those operations smoother, and emergency stops a bit more clear, less errors, and so on. So they will all have the new generation of EyeSight, even the base model. EyeSight system has been standard in Canada for quite a few years now. I believe it has been since 2020 or so on. I think it was 2020, and now a new generation. So moving on to the next thing, our base model is called the Convenience. I don't have one right here on the lot to show, but a current base model has 17-inch rims and has actually plastic hubcaps. The new Forester, the 2025, will have alloy wheels, even on the base model. So the Convenience will have alloy wheels, so that's nice and exciting. And there's going to be some gunmetal rear badging. So in the back of the Forester, it will say Forester or some other badging. On the rear, that would be sort of a gunmetal gray finish. The upholstery type remains pretty similar in terms of having the leather seats on the top of the line, and then still having the synthetic leather on one of our Foresters. But this now changes. So currently we have the synthetic leather, or what's called Startex material in the US. Currently we only have it on the Forester Wilderness. And for 2025, this material will go over to the sport trim level. It might look a little different, it might be a little less rugged, but that will be there on the sport trim level. Now, this is the current sport trim, and that has cloth seats. Pretty nice, very nicely done cloth seats. With some synthetic leather just on the sides, but the new ones will be fully synthetic and 100% waterproof. So that's a new feature that the Sport is getting. Now in Canada, this is one thing to note. If you are after a wilderness, don't wait, because in 2025 it looks like we will not have a wilderness trim level. This might change in the future, but as of now, at least in the first initial release, there will not be a wilderness trim level. So if you're after a wilderness, it's a good idea to go out and get your 2024 in the next couple of months for sure. Now, another new feature is actually in the rear tailgate. So the rear tailgate, of course, is powered on most trim levels other than the base model. Let me show it to you here. I can use this, or of course I can use the button on the back. It's got a proximity key. But the new ones will have a new sensor system with a kick action. So you'll be able to kick, sort of, I'm not sure exactly how it would be, under the bumper, I guess, for the tailgate to go up. So this would be a hands-free system. New to most Foresters. And this will be in the Touring and up. In other words, the middle trim level of Foresters and up will have it. Not the base, but all others will have that hands-free kick sensor. And another exciting feature is the wheels. So currently we have 18-inch wheels with low-profile tires. The overall size of the tires there will likely stay the same in terms of the diameter, but the wheel itself will be a 19-inch rim. It will be somewhat of a change. Some will be able to tell. If you can visualize this rim stretched out about half-inch each way, that's what it would be. So a 19-inch rim with lower profile tires than the other Foresters there. The Premier, the very, very top of the line, I believe also gets these 19-inch rims. And the Sport will change from this darker color to a bronze color. So the bronze accents will kind of continue from the car to the wheels, which in my opinion will be a very unique and nice look. Now I think it might be wise to go inside one of these vehicles, the Sport for example, just to show you the inside, and so that you can compare the change that will happen to this particular trim. Currently, again, it's got that synthetic leatherette. Not exactly our Startex material, but the predecessor to it. Not exactly 100% waterproof. And then we have cloth here. And again, this new one will have fully synthetic material, so more like synthetic leather. To the Sport, I am happy to say that the 2025 will get a new suspension tuning. It will be a Sport tuned suspension, and will be present on the Forester Sport only. So finally, after quite a few years, the Sport will be a Sport not just in name, but through some specification improvement as well. Another feature with the Sport trim level, so the exact the exact model that we're sitting in, just not 2024, but a 2025, would be the speakers. Currently, a 2024 Forester Sport has Subaru's regular speakers, non-branded speakers, and the Harman Kardon has historically been reserved for the Limited and Premier. And I'm happy to say a 2025 Forester Sport will have the Harman Kardon. So that's very exciting, and if you're getting the Sport, you're really getting some nice upgrades, not just looks, but also some performance upgrades. And inside the Harman Kardon, which is a very nice bonus. The Harman Kardon in the Forester brings in a couple more speakers, as well as a rear subwoofer and an amplifier with like twice the wattage of the regular system. So it's well worth it, and just a huge bonus, let's say that, if it already comes in the trim level that you wanted to get. So currently, again, I'm in a 2024, and we still have that older style screen with the physical buttons here for the climate controls. Those will go away and will be integrated into a larger screen, similar to our other models like the new 2024 Crosstrek, 2024 Ascent, and 2024 Outback. It's that 12-inch screen right here with some physical buttons still for the temperature controls on the sides, but some of these climate control buttons will be integrated into the screen and controlled through the screen. Other than that, they're going to change this area around here. It will be more of a larger honeycomb shape. You can see it from some of those other marketing videos or from the press conference for the 2025. But again, in this video, I'm not so focusing on the visuals. I like to keep my videos fairly simple and simple to upload. I'm not as well versed in the editing world, and I'd like to show you the car when it actually arrives, and at that point I will definitely do a visual on the outside and inside and everywhere else. But so far, going through the specifications, there's a few more nice and exciting things other than the large screen in here. Rain sensing wipers will come to the Forester Limited and Premier. So the top of the line versions of the Forester will now have not just our usual stock here that has to be manually done, manually selected. We will have an automatic version of this where there will be a sensor in here, inside the windshield. It senses water, and when it senses that, the rain wipers will begin going at a speed that's dependent on how heavy the rain is. So rain sensing wipers, not a first for Subaru. We do have it in the Ascent, the very top of the line Ascent, and now in the Solterra as well. But it's very nice to see it now in a Forester, and it's a feature that I personally like quite a bit and appreciate, because I live here in Vancouver where it rains all the time, just not today. Another feature we can get excited about for the top of the line, and specifically this would be for the Premier trim level, so the very top of the line in Canada, above the Limited, which would still have leather seats, would be the Premier. The Premier will have not just heated seats, but now a first for Forester, cooled seats, or ventilated seats, I should say. So there will be a choice between heat and cold, and that applies to the seats. So that's nice to see. So far we only have that in the Subaru Ascent and the Subaru Outback, as well as the Solterra, the EV Solterra. Another brand new feature is 360-degree camera, and again available in our Ascent, but now it's a brand new feature for the Forester. So that will be nice and exciting. When you go into reverse or other situations, there will probably be a button here to see the whole view. And instead of showing you just a backup camera, you'll probably have a split screen right here showing the 360 as well as the rear. You could probably change it to the front as well. So that's a very welcome feature. People have asked about it for a while, and now we finally have it on the Forester. Another noteworthy feature for the Premier, so for the very, very top of the line in 2025, is the seat material itself. And again, this is the Sport, so pardon this, but if you could imagine this being the current Premier or Limited, this would be full leather material. And on the 2025, we will have a leather and Ultrasuede material. So this is leather and Alcantara sort of like material, or leather and suede. So I'm excited to see that. We've had it in our sports cars before, but not that I remember in a Forester, and I'm excited to see that. So that will be in the Premier. So there's definitely some nice factors to persuade someone to go from a Limited to a Premier now, which we didn't really have in the past. It used to be all visuals and cosmetics, and now there's some real nice upgrades there with the these seats, the Ultrasuede and leather, and the ventilated seats and 360-degree camera. Now I just wanted to mention a couple of last things, and that is actually regarding the screen in this area right here. What will be the change is that I know that I mentioned the screen already, but on the base model, the convenience trim level, similar to our Outback and Crosstrek, the base trim level will have two smaller 7-inch screens, one above the other, just like that, and there's a bezel around them. The overall size is similar to that 12-inch screen, but they will be composed of two 7-inch screens. And more than likely that base model, that convenience, to access Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it will be a physical connection. So you would physically connect it here, connect it to your phone, and then you'll have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto over there. Whereas the Touring and above, so everything other than the base model, will again have that extra large 12-inch screen, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and it will have a wireless charger. So that's the last thing to mention. And the idea there is, if you get the Touring and above, you hop in your car, you put the phone right there, and it begins charging, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto works in the background. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and see you in the next one.